episode of Unveil. On this platform, I interview women of color on discovering the beauty that lives and lies within them. We also take a closer look through their eyes on their interpretation of what they define as beautiful. My guest today is Abena Ansah. She is the owner of Salomesheabutter, which outsources shea butter directly from Ghana. Not only is she an entrepreneur, she's a yoga teacher, a doula trainee, and she will always offer you sprinkles of spiritual sassiness on her YouTube channel, BeenieTV. Without further ado, Abena. Yay!
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for having me on here. I'm
Yeah,
excited to get into this conversation.
I'm excited too. Yes, ready to release that. Yes, I'm excited. So let's get started with my first question, which I ask all my guests. Growing up, who or what were your beauty inspirations, and how has that evolved to who you are presently?
Okay, so growing up, I grew up in the 90s. I'm 32, and I remember watching really like the women around me, right? Like I was going to say celebrities, but like no. It was really just my family, right? My grandma, my mom, my aunt, who were really into luxury perfumes, really into always making sure that they looked nice. And like even though we don't come from a lot of money, it was still all about always make sure that you look nice, always make sure that you look presentable, and my one aunt, it was all about like personality. We're the same zodiac sign, we're both Aries. So
Yeah.
it's always like, it's like, okay, show your personality, show your authenticity. So for me it was really them. And I guess maybe some celebrities, like I would say, okay, growing up, okay, again, like a 90s kid, for me, it was like Amanda Bynes, right? For
Yeah.
me, it was like Amanda Bynes and the Amanda Show. And she would always have these like limited two inspired outfits. And I'm like, okay, I can't afford a limited two, but I can go to Marshalls and get limited
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
We can make it
right.
work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
I
can
think
make it
that's
work.
yeah, I think in fashion, like from and I can relate to the fact of like, look, I would look at these magazines and I'm like, okay, what can I find at like the thrift store that I can
Yes.
create and emulate this look and it still look the same kind of like appearance, you know what I mean? But still
Yes.
look fly, you know?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, staying within your budget, but always looking more expensive than maybe the outfit costs,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And then how does that translate into who you are presently?
Today, I definitely feel like growing up and seeing women be their dress and smell their own authentic way definitely kind of gave me permission today to be like, all right, today I'm going to wear an all yellow outfit because I want to activate my solar plexus chakra. And it's like, that's who I am,
Yeah.
right? So I'm all about spirituality. I'm just all about um, wearing what makes my energy feel good. And
Mm,
so growing up, and again, we can go back to, I don't know, like watching people on All That and Keenan and Kel and the Amanda Show and seeing them in their quirky outfits. It was like, oh, okay, you can dress how you want. Like you can dress in a way that represents you. You don't always have to follow the trends or dress the way that other people dress. You can do your own thing. So definitely people who have known me for a long time know like I'm always just wearing what I want to wear.
right, right.
Yeah. Mhm.
But so we're discussing about like watching all these shows, right?
Mhm.
And you brought up the fact about, hey, I can wear this color and it radiates a certain kind of energy or exudes it to outside people when they're looking in and say, oh my gosh, this is how I feel, right?
Yes.
So, as watching your YouTube channel, I see that your channel has grown into a channel of self-efficacy, right?
Amen. Yes, thank
And
you.
so what was the passage for you spiritually to have it to expand where it is currently?
Definitely, I talk about on my channel, but my Saturn's return, it happens to everybody between the ages of 27 and 32, where
Mm,
something really traumatic happens. It could be a car accident, it could be the passing of a loved one, and it just opens you up to become who God created you to be. So
oh,
in that time, you lose friends, you lose interest in things that you cared about. Your whole life turns around because basically God is taking away things that are not real for you, and taking away all the BS and bringing in the real stuff, right? So everything basically 180s. And that's why you see a change in my channel. Because at first my channel was like, okay, what's everyone else doing? What? Oh, okay, Jackie Ina's doing this. Oh, okay, like this person's doing that. Okay, let me do that too. And it was inauthentic.
Yes.
Had sprinkles of the spiritual stuff, but I wasn't confident in it. So these past 3 years of me going through my Saturn's return, I'm like, oh no, I can do this. I can shift people's energy through a YouTube video. I can assist people in their journey just through a video. So that's why you can see like that shift in my channel. It's just more confidence in me, as I like to call myself like a healing facilitator,
Yeah.
right? Someone that just assists people as they're going through their healing process. And yeah, just going through my own dark night of the soul to assist others going through theirs.
Mm. Mm.
Mhm.
You know what when we're talking about like, dark moments and everything, just these moments, dark moments, right? And last year during like being on the shutdown for like a couple months, right? There were two things that I feel like coming out of it, and as well for myself, that I recognized that was happening to people and to happening in their relationships and how they connect with individuals, is that either communication needs to be worked on, or communication is needed for individuals, right?
Mm,
So, what I find is like what I mean by that is that I think that people feed so much on outside sources
yes.
that when they're by themselves, it frightens them, because
Amen.
now you have to actually really like stare at the person in the mirror, right? And so for yourself, Abena, you went through that moment of being with yourself and you really purged through your emotions, right?
Mhm.
How do you reconnect with the universe to manifest the life you want?
That's a really awesome question. So for me, it was about that purging, letting go of old dreams. Like, when I was in LA, I was an actor, right? And I was doing well as an actor and a model. I was doing very well, but that wasn't 100% true for me. It was like 40% true for me, right? So coming back to the East Coast and still trying to dabble in that in New York, and it just wasn't right. So I was like, okay, I need to sit down and figure out what is true for me, what is right for me. Because the thing is, when you are manifesting and you are working with the universe and spirit, the universe is neutral. If you ask the universe for a couch, the
Yeah.
universe will bring you a couch. Do you need the couch? Is this the couch that you love? Is this the couch that you've always wanted? You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like if you do it right, you can manifest whatever you want. But is it true for you? Is it right for you? Why are you manifesting this thing? So for me, purging, I was able to realize that I wanted to start my own business. I really wanted to have my own thing. I want a very specific type of romantic relationship. I need a very specific type of friendships. So through that purging, you can come to your truth. And then you can ask the universe. The universe is going to be like, even though the universe is neutral, universe is still going to be like, bam, see, that's what we wanted you to do in the first place.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
didn't want you to do that thing. We
Uh-huh.
want you to do this thing.
But you had
And
to
that's,
go through that in order to realize the difference between
oh my God, yeah.
what you actually need. You know what I
Amen. Exactly. Exactly. Because I kept attracting the same things. And I was like, okay, something is not right here. Like, what's going on? And
mean?
so with the purging, you're like, oh, okay. And through the healing that trauma, you're like, okay, now I can stop attracting the same things and move on to what is real for me. Because now the real me is here, not
Right.
the traumatized me, the healed me. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
And the Healed You has now this brand, Salome Shea,
Mhm.
which you're the founder, the owner of, in which you sell. I saw on your website waist beads, but you also, I
Mhm.
mean, your main source is like shea butter.
Yes.
And you source it directly from Ghana,
Kamale.
Tamale, Ghana.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
held you into selling shea butter?
Well, I was slinging shea butter through Instagram DMs in like 2015, 2016. Remember that time you came over and
Yes,
what year? What year was that? That was like
I think it was
2000.
2016. Yeah. 20.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So I have always been like a semi like quiet hustler, just trying to figure things out. But I was always helping other people make money and not helping myself make money. And I was like, okay,
I think that's
let's change the tides.
yeah.
Let's change the tides here. So my grandma, whose name is Salome, who is who the brand is named after, she was kind of, and she was a businesswoman in Ghana, and she was really just pushing me and saying like, Abena, just sell the shea butter. We can get it from northern Ghana and ship it here. And yeah, I can remember me and her like cutting up the big box of like pure shea butter and like digging our hands in it and like pulling it in plastic wrap to bring it to America. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just like how it started. I always knew I wanted my own thing, but I
Mhm.
wanted it to be authentic again to me, to my culture, to my heritage. And as I came into myself as an African woman, it only was right and natural to one, name my brand after my grandmother who helped raise me and who passed away in 2018, which triggered my dark night of the soul. And
Yes.
then two, and also just as a Ghanaian person, shea butter is a staple,
Mm-hmm.
right? In Ghana, we don't use, Johnson and Johnson and all that stuff. We use shea butter. So,
So yeah,
yeah.
so you know what's so crazy about that? Okay, so guys, when I first met Abena and she's like, yeah, I sell like shea butter because her skin was like, oh my gosh, what do you use? Like, can you tell me? Because I'm just a skin freak. Like I'm
You
like,
are.
yeah,
I
you know,
remember that. I remember that.
I'm like, what do you use? Like, what's going on? Okay, so you use coconut oil too?
I
Okay,
remember that.
coconut oil. But anyway, so with like shea butter, I was so taken aback that I didn't know that shea butter had to have a certain color. It had to be a certain consistency. And so Abena, can you share with us, right? What is it about your shea butter that differentiates yours from other brands? And if someone who listen, they want to, as soon as we're done with this interview, like, oh, I want to go buy shea butter. What should we be looking for when we're like out here trying to like purchase it? Because like I went on like two major beauty retailers. I'm not gonna say their names,
Okay.
but I went onto their website. I went into search like, hey, just shea butter. And there was a specific brand that had come up. And so I went into the ingredients and I'm like, I can't pronounce any of this stuff. Like, what is in here? So like, can you just explain to us like what is it that we should be looking for? Like I know that now is like with brands, like I'm always conscious, even when I purchase like food,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yes.
what is it that's in the food? Like if it's there, if it's like things that I can read and understand, and I'm like, okay, cool, seems like something of a product I want to eat, you know?
Yeah, good
So
for
what
you.
is it? Yeah, and so what is it with about shea? Like when we're wanting to purchase shea butter, what are we looking for? What's the color? What is it?
Okay, so with shea butter starts as a nut from a tree,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see the process of making shea butter. So it starts as a nut and it's a 24-hour, sometimes longer process to get the nut, crushing it down into the oil and melting it down to get, and then to hand churning it from liquid to solid. Okay, so the difference between my shea butter and other people's shea butter is that mine is sourced from a woman-owned facility, and it's all women that work there,
Oh,
right? And for them, they hand churn it all day long, okay? All day long,
they're not using machines even to this day.
not using machines, not using machines. So um that's how you get that smooth consistency. So with shea butter, what you're looking for is a smooth consistency, and you want it to be a beige color. You never want, yes, there are some places where shea butter can be yellow, but most common, you're going to want a beige smooth consistency with a very light nut smell because it is coming from the shea nut,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of um big corporations that use shea butter are using this much shea butter. And because in America we don't have regulations about how much the percentage of ingredients that we use in our products, like it could be 0.01% and they can put on their label, it has shea butter and it's fair trade.
Wow.
But we don't have America doesn't have regulations like Europe does. In Europe, you can't play that game.
Oh,
They need to know the percentage, right?
yeah.
So here, big corporations will go to northern Ghana, they'll go to Tamale, and they'll order large quantities of shea butter, but only put like this much in it. And that's why the brand that you were looking at, that's why they had so many different ingredients, because it's not pure shea butter, right? But then they're still charging you like $50 and putting shea butter, 100% shea butter on the label for this much. So with mine, you're getting an 8-ounce jar of pure shea butter.
I wish I would have thought smarter. I still have mine. Okay. Guys, I should have brought it down here. I don't even want to like go up there and run and grab it. But
Yeah, I have mine.
yeah, okay, please. Yes, that's exactly how mine's looks.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
this is the whipped one that I just brought out. This is the vanilla whipped shea butter, and this one just uses a high grade vanilla essential oil. But this is the same color. It should
And
be
it
this color.
lasts. It lasts.
It does.
I literally put it in because you know the consistency of it, it gets really tough. But I put
Mhm.
it warm water and it just melts
Oh,
easy.
nice.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
it melts easily, and I think that because a lot of Americans are not used to using pure shea butter, it is like a new experience for them. So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you want to make sure that it is beige, that it has a smooth consistency, and a little bit goes a long way. It's
Mhm.
amazing for eczema, it's amazing for very dry skin,
Yeah.
dry scalp. You know, when you go to Ghana, when you go to West Africa, that's why you see the skin is like, okay. And that's just like shea butter and sun and
Really?
black soap, literally.
Right. So putting it on your face is not it's not heavy as a
No, it's non-comedogenic, so it does not clog your pores.
wow.
Yes. I know that I think you're gonna ask me about my skincare routine later, but yes, like sometimes when I'm feeling lazy, I'll wash my face with black soap and then slap on shea butter and call it a day.
Really? Oh
Yes.
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's my like
Tell us like what is your what beauty products do you use on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so actually, thank you so much for this question because there was a point during my dark night of the soul and when I was going through a deep depression, my skin was breaking out. I don't break out. I'll have one like maybe like period
Yes.
pimple like once a month, but I don't break out. And I was breaking out like crazy, like all over my face.
You were
It was
purging.
like stressful. What you say?
You were purging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've never actually thought about it like that. I actually have never thought about it like that. I'm gonna take that little gem you just dropped. Um, literally, I was at a stressful job, the depression, just everything, and so I went to Ghana, and I was like, all right, back to basics. So I
Mhm.
used black soap and shea butter for just a month straight, and my
Mhm.
skin started clearing up.
Wow.
Yep. So if anyone has problem skin, always go to Mother Nature. She has everything that you need.
Do you think
So
also, but do you think, I mean,
mhm,
also with you being in Ghana too, the food that you were eating too, did it make a difference too, or no?
for me, I don't really eat a lot when I'm in Ghana because it's so hot. But yes, obviously the food in Ghana is a higher quality. Like you want to talk organic, like that's organic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, I would say the warmth, the humidity,
Yes.
um, and the copious amounts of water also did help. Right
Mm.
on the inside, right
Yes,
on the
yes, yes.
inside, and then the weather helps on the outside as well as shea butter and black soap. But now that my skin has cleared up, I use Pharrell's Human Race. I use his
Oh,
cream.
oh, nice. Okay, yeah. How
Yeah,
do you like it?
I the cream is amazing because it's a how do you say it? I can't remember, but it's like a humidifying cream. So it
Oh,
gives me the same effect of when I'm in Ghana or in a tropical place and my skin is like,
wow.
yeah. And then I use his scrub.
Mm-hmm.
And then what really took my skin to the next level was Sunday Riley.
Oh, what from Sunday Riley?
Sunday Riley, the CEO, I mean the good
Okay.
jeans,
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then the CEO glow skin and then the night retinol serum.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Game changer.
Game changer.
So
Yeah,
that's what I
serum is
use now.
definitely my where I spend my money in
Yes.
anything else. Yeah,
Yes.
vitamin C serum than anything else is for me, and
Mhm.
sunscreen. So that's also
Yeah.
me as well. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, got to get that sunscreen. I don't have like a safe sunscreen and I'm embarrassed cuz I'm like super like eco bae, but
Yeah.
I still use my Lancome sunscreen from like 2012 and it works.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I don't think everyone has to, we're having this conversation, but if you have something that works for you, please, don't, work with it. Please don't run out.
Yes,
I'm going to go get these products. Like,
yes.
don't use all the products at one time, because
Mm,
your face and, is going to say what is happening and it's going to actually react to what you're doing. So
yeah,
just as a beauty note,
for sure.
what do you love about being a Black woman?
For me, I personally love, as like an African woman, I really love that we are the original human beings,
Ah,
right? Like
oh,
we are literally the first creation,
okay.
right? So we all are number one,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
I hold that very strongly and very dear. And it's like, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me whatever name you want, but I know this DNA, honey. I know this spiritual blood. So go ahead, throw your little names. I know the truth.
Yes.
Right. And as a Black woman, as an African woman, for me, I just love that we really are magic, and not to like overdo it with the Black girl magic, but it's true,
Yes.
right? Like there in esoteric teachings, African women, Black women, we are closer to the universe, closer to God. So
Woo.
for us, it's so important to really communicate with Mother Earth, with the ancestors, with God, with universe, because we're the closest. We
Yes.
don't have to work as hard to
Yes.
activate that spiritual energy. We don't have to work as hard
Hmm.
because God and us are like this.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
of course, God exists in everybody, but we are VIP to God.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're saying now with you talking about with us being closest to God and almost
Hmm.
motherly kind of like
Mm,
energy, right?
mm.
So I saw on your, Instagram bio, it's like I'm, your doula trainee, right?
Hmm.
What drew you into choosing to be a part of a couple's journey into bringing life into the world and be their emotional, physical, and comfort and support?
Yeah. For me, I've always just been a natural helper, just a natural mother, right? And for me, I do believe that I'm going to be entering into motherhood soon. And I was like, okay, I don't know who I can ask for help. So let me go and be a doula because you know what I mean? Because I have to educate myself.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm a generational curse breaker. I'm not gonna sit here and have a baby in my womb and be completely ignorant to the healthcare system, or be completely ignorant to what it means to have a natural birth, or the emotions, or what happens during postpartum. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna do it. I'm not the one.
Yes.
So for me personally, the doula training was about me and how I wanted to, how I always envisioned myself to be as a pregnant person and as a woman who gives birth. And I always knew I wanted a doula, you
Mhm.
know? So what better way to like have a doula than to be your own doula?
You know,
So
it's
yeah.
like when you put it into that perspective, it's so interesting because we all have examples of or wanting things like I'm a plant mom. So if I'm a plant mom, then I can, I can have a child or I have a pet, I have a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a
Yes,
dog, I have a cat. If I have a dog, then I'm prepared
yes,
to have a child. You know what I mean?
yes,
But yes, it makes sense. Like if you go into being a doula, how close more can you be with
yes,
knowing the being of how a woman is carrying a child than that form of business? That form
yes.
of being like, you know,
Education.
education. Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, education. We have to, because during the doula training, I realized how blind and ignorant they keep us to what actually happens to a birthing person's body, but also the child that is growing in your womb. They keep us so ignorant. And what do? We all just look at TV and film, or we
Yeah.
all look at the women or birthing people around us. And your experience as a birthing person is unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gives birth the same.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So it's so important to educate yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's so many cycles of the birth. There's so many examples of actual human birth that connect with birthing your dreams, manifesting your dreams. like moving with the moon, moving with Mother Earth, and it's all intertwined. Like God is like just so intentional,
So
so
intentional.
intentional.
So intentional. Yes.
Man, I mean, it's like when you start like learning about the human body and how we birth and how everything is natural. And let's also talk about how everything starts with the woman. The sperm, the egg chooses the sperm. Yes, the sperm must swim to the egg, but the egg will reject sperm that she does not want.
Woo!
Okay? So it's these little things where God is like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Woman first, female first."
Oh my gosh.
Okay? And let's talk about how our moon cycles, our periods are all feminine, right? Cuz the moon is feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to be able to give birth, we have to have our period,
Yeah.
right? There's no other way around it. So God is like, oh, females, feminine, woman, mother.
Right. That's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, especially with my fiance, I'm like, don't mess with me. Listen, I can go for 7 days and I'm still alive. So don't you
Exactly. What the heck? Like yesterday, I mean, last week, I was literally like, yo, universe really has us out here like bleeding,
yeah.
uterus shedding.
Okay.
So like going to work,
Okay.
like cooking, standing up,
Yes. Okay. Still functioning.
like what? Sometimes when you like think so deep, it's like so trippy, and you're like, okay, wait, let me
Yeah.
come back.
Let me scale back. Let me see what's
Let me-
going on. Yeah. So, you know, with that information, with
Mhm.
that, knowing about ourselves, right, and like what we go through and experience, you know what I mean? What is your? And it doesn't have to be physical, but what is a favorite feature of yourself? What is
Oh,
the
of me?
favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, and why?
Okay. So my first favorite feature will always just be my energy and my personality,
Mm-hmm.
right? The things that you can't see when you first meet me. That's
Yes.
my favorite thing because no one can take that away from me. No matter what hardships I go through, I'm always going to have my personality. I'm always going to have my pure spirit, my pure heart, my pure energy, like, period.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have like a bad year, I'm still going to come out brighter than ever. So it's like, yeah. So it's like,
That's
that's,
our strength too. That's our strength as being like Black women. Like
yeah.
we go through so many different hardships, so many different situations, and it's like, okay, girl, let me just put my makeup on and just kind of and go through the day. And like process the day. You get what I mean? And no one knows, like literally 15 minutes
Yes.
walking to the room, you were having a mental breakdown. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like
Yes.
those experiences that say, hey, we always can figure it out, you know?
Yes, and rise to the top and continue to shine, right? And I think um definitely as women, that's our strength, is being able to have emotions. And I mean, men have emotions too, but to be able to show our emotions, to feel our emotions, to let them move through us like waves, and right, put our makeup on and keep it pushing,
Yeah.
right? Like we still have that ability, and we don't let our emotions take over us. We are feeling our emotions, unlike many, parts of like the male species and the male patriarchy. But
Mm-hmm.
my favorite physical feature is probably, oh man, I just messed up my, sorry.
Okay.
My favorite physical feature is probably like just everything, because I refuse to feel bad about my body ever again. I did that for too long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God gave me all of this,
Okay.
right?
There's
How
only one Abena Ansah out here.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is the only body she's getting.
Okay.
So, whether I've gained weight, whether I've lost weight, it doesn't matter. My organs are functioning at a high level. I'm thankful, I'm healthy. So all of it, everything. That's what really my self-love journey, and these past 3 years, definitely 2020, has really taught me, is like I can't waste any more time
Oh my gosh.
nitpicking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, last question. What
Oh,
is a beauty takeaway secret that you can share with us? Outside
oh,
of the shape, we know, like, okay, listen, y'all, Go on Salome Shea and get the shea butter. I'm telling you, it is life changing.
It
It is.
really is though.
Look, my body is glistening. Look,
Okay. You
you
see,
see that?
oh. No, it really is. And I don't really like to toot my own horn, but toot beep beep, because sometimes when I put my own shea butter on, I'm like, damn, I should be charging way more. But I'm a I'm gonna keep the price at a good price right now. But it is really a good quality. But my beauty secret is like freezing cold water on your face.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? You're right. Yes, yeah, because it closed your pores, right?
So they say that pores don't really close or open. What I have noticed is that my skin, for some reason, just it does feel like it tightens though, right?
Really?
With cold water, it does look like my skin tightens, and it takes to my products better. So just freezing cold water on your face, and also cold showers, right? Cold showers, I don't do them. They're really hard. They're so hard to
They're
do.
so hard.
They're so
I be trying, and I'm like, you
yeah.
know what? I'll do this when it's 100 degrees outside. I'm not doing it. Yeah.
It's so hard, but the cold waters really do help our blood. They help the lymphatic system release toxins. It helps you to sleep better. It helps with anxiety. And yeah, so if you can do cold showers, do it, but cold water on the face, at least try start there.
Yes, yes.
Start there.
Okay, okay. So, Abena, give us all of your handles. I'm gonna, guys. Also, I'll be leaving all that information in the description box below. I'm also gonna leave the link to the process of when Abena went to Tamale, Ghana,
Oh,
and
nice. Okay,
show
cool.
how the shea butter is done or made or created.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but tell us all your handles so where people can like follow you, people can shop, you know.
Okay, so the best thing right now is to sign up for my newsletter on salomeshea.com, where you can get ethically sourced shea butter from Ghana.
Yeah.
I have new products coming out this year, so be sure to sign up for the newsletter. You can, I actually just deleted my Instagram and I don't know when I'll be back,
Okay.
but you can follow me on TikTok at BeenieTV6
Okay.
and Twitter at BeenieTV. And yeah, the
And you
newsletter is going to
have
be
a
the best.
podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I just started a podcast, Spirituality with
Yeah.
Beanie.
Love it.
And that is also you can still go to my Instagram. It's at Beanie TV in the link tree, right? The link in my bio on Instagram will have everything that you need.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Oh my
Abina.
God, thank you.
So good. I
Thank
loved
you
it.
for
Thank
having me,
you so much.
Unveil.
Yes. Thank you.